saw my
Okay.
little note.
All right. Welcome to Straight Talk, and we're right back at it. I don't know what the hell going on with the video that I got.
No, I'm here. Like, I don't
Can you
see you
see?
though.
You can't see me, can you?
Nah, hell no.
I don't know what the hell what's
Black.
going on.
Screen is
All right.
black.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
They might be
Okay.
fucking with you because how hard you be going in on them folk.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Hold on. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, but. The only thing I was posting was what was being posted on X. So what the fuck, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Bro, you hitting them too hard, man. You already know, man. This shit is
Yeah,
over and they gotta fuck with everybody in the last days, man.
yeah. And these, oh, you heard about Trump? He might be out of here, or he might be resigning tonight. I don't know.
Who said that?
So I got all of that information up and running on X.
Wow.
But I'm not going to be here for too long anyway. So if you can hold on for a minute, you can probably check it out, and we'll be on point. So I can
Okay.
see my voice is registering, but
Yeah.
nothing else is registering. All right, so we're going to go straight to, because I'm not going to be here for long, man. We're going to go straight to share screen, and then we'll see what is. But what's been going on with you, man?
Man, same old, man. Just maintaining. I was wondering where you was at. I'm like, he got that FAWF thing going on, man. They probably hit him up real bad, and
Right.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
sometimes
but I ain't the only one doing it.
it don't
You
matter,
know what I
bro.
mean?
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, I heard that
It's your
one.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I ain't think nothing bad. I'm like, nah, they got at him. That's what I was thinking.
right. Yeah. Well, something happened, so I don't know. I don't give a fuck, man. My life and my money ain't tied into favor, man. Fuck that motherfucker. But
Hmm.
then again, I got information on it that's important, but hey, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
So you
But in
got
the
your
end,
old account. So is that your old account or this is a whole new account?
no, this is what they gave me. I filed the complaint or something, whatever it is, and one minute I'm talking on X, next minute they take it off and give me Isaiah Garcia. Like nigga, my name ain't no damn Garcia. What the fuck?
Hey, that
I
was
said,
their
yeah,
hint. Hey, that's their hint for them to tell you to light up a Garcia Vega.
maybe I don't know, man. That's it, but I ain't tripping.
Okay.
So
So good,
yeah,
good to see you back. Whatever the reason, good to see you back.
yeah, man. I
Well,
just
good to hear you back.
right. Well, at least I got a Facebook. We can talk on that, but
Okay.
I'm not
We'll
on
be
that
ready.
like that with that motherfucker, man. I don't know no Isaiah Garcia.
Me either.
But anyway, let's get at it, man, because it ain't gonna be long.
Okay, go
So
ahead. Go start it up. Go for it.
okay, all right, bet.
History has just cracked right down the middle, and what we are witnessing in the Gulf right now is nothing short of a full-blown strategic nuclear explosion in the heart of the American empire's military architecture. Qatar, the tiny peninsula nation that has for decades served as the crown jewel of the Pentagon's power projection across the Middle East, has just dropped a hammer on Washington that will echo through the corridors of the Pentagon for generations. In an announcement that has sent shockwaves from the marble floors of the State Department to the command bridges of the Fifth Fleet, Doha has declared that it will no longer allow its soil to be used as a launch pad for what it calls war crimes against fellow Muslim neighbor Iran. And it has given American forces exactly 72 hours to pack their bags and get the hell out.
American personnel were advised to leave the U.S. military's Al Udeid air base in Qatar by today evening.
Islamic Nation to kick out U.S. forces?
America on verge of losing its biggest base in the Middle East. Some personnel at the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East being urged to evacuate.
This is the first time in modern history. Does this look like $1 million
Hold on.
Right? I made it with Pittsburgh V6 for free. And
modern history that a Gulf nation that ties to the American military-industrial complex has slammed the door shut, activated its long-dormant neutral policies, and chosen the path of peace over subservience to the empire, even if that means leaving itself exposed. And let me tell you, the implications of this cannot be overstated. This is the moment the entire trajectory of the Middle East shifts on its axis. Reports flooding in from Iranian news outlets, including Press TV and the Tehran Times, as well as independent observers on the ground, confirm that the decision came after intense back-channel communications between Doha and Tehran, with the Iranian military warning that any further use of Qatari territory to launch strikes on Iranian civilian infrastructure would be met with devastating retaliation. Qatar, which has long maintained what diplomats delicately call a balancing act between its security relationship with Washington and its deep economic and political ties to Tehran, has finally drawn a line in the sand. And the Iranians, who have been watching in horror as American warplanes and Israeli bombers have targeted nuclear facilities and civilian sites across their country, have reportedly praised Qatar's decision as a courageous stand against Western aggression. Observers on the ground are already reporting that the evacuation process is underway, with U.S. military convoys seen moving toward the Al Udeid airbase perimeter, and transport aircraft preparing to lift American personnel out of the country. But here's where it gets even more explosive. Qatar has reportedly refused a desperate request from the Pentagon to relocate U.S. forces who have lost their bases in Bahrain and Kuwait to its soil, citing legitimate fears of Iranian retaliation that has already seen hotels and parks in the UAE, where American troops were hiding, targeted by Iranian missiles and drones. And the Americans, for all their bluster and bravado, are suddenly looking very, very alone in a region that is rapidly turning against them. Before we dive deeper into this tectonic shift, I need to ask you to do something. If you believe in honest journalism, if you want to see more coverage that tells you the truth about what is happening in the Middle East without the sugarcoating and the propaganda, then hit that like button right now. Share this video with everyone you know who needs to understand that the American empire is bleeding out in the desert. Drop a comment, even if it's just a dot, or better yet, tell me what you think about Qatar's decision and what it means for Netanyahu and the war criminals in Washington. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel because we are doing the work that the corporate media is too scared to touch. Let the algorithm know that the people want the truth. Now, let's get back to the stories because there is so much more to unpack here. Let me paint you a picture of just how catastrophic this loss is for the Pentagon's power projection project, because most people have no idea just how much Qatar means to the American war machine. Al Udeid Air Base, located just southwest of Doha, is not just another military installation. It is the beating heart of U.S. Central Command's entire Middle East operation, the largest American military base in the entire region, and the forward headquarters from which every single air campaign across Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, and now Iran has been orchestrated. We are talking about a facility that houses anywhere from 8,000 to 11,000 American troops at any given time, along with more than 100 combat and support aircraft, including B-52 Stratofortress strategic bombers, KC-135 Stratotanker refueling aircraft, C-17 Globemaster heavy transports, MQ-9 Reaper drones, and the Combined Air Operations Center, which serves as the brain that controls every single U.S. air mission from Egypt to Pakistan. This is not just a base. This is the nerve center of American air power in the entire Eastern Hemisphere, and Qatar has just cut that nerve. The numbers are staggering when you look at what Qatar has contributed to the American empire over the years. According to defense industry reports, Qatar has spent more than $8 billion of its own money upgrading and maintaining Al Udeid, saving U.S. taxpayers billions while providing the Pentagon with a state-of-the-art facility that could not be replicated anywhere else without years of construction and tens of billions of dollars in investment. The base features runways long enough to accommodate every single aircraft in the U.S. arsenal, hardened aircraft shelters, advanced radar systems, Patriot missile defense batteries, and enough ammunition and fuel storage to sustain weeks of sustained combat operations. Qatar has also been one of the largest purchasers of American military hardware in the world, with a $42 billion deal announced recently that included THAAD missile defense systems and KC-46 Pegasus refueling aircraft, and nearly $2 billion for MQ-9B Predator drones and advanced munitions. This is a relationship that has enriched American defense contractors to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars, while providing the Pentagon with an unshakable foothold in the heart of the Gulf. And now, it is all evaporating before our eyes. But here is the part that the Pentagon does not want you to think about. The loss of Qatar is not happening in isolation.
How did we survive the crash through this shadow and ice? Every step through the snow was a battle.
It is the final nail in the coffin of an American military presence across the Middle East that has been systematically dismantled base by base over the past several years. Let me walk you through the carnage, because the American public has been fed a steady diet of lies about how strong and resilient the U.S. military posture remains in the region. The 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain has been hit repeatedly by Iranian missiles and drones, with strikes that have damaged critical infrastructure and killed American personnel. Camp Arifjan in Kuwait, which hosts approximately 13,500 U.S. troops, the largest concentration of American ground forces in the region, has suffered casualties and significant damage from Iranian retaliatory strikes. Al Dhafra Air Base in the United Arab Emirates, which serves as the primary forward operating location for F-35 Lightning II and F-22 Raptor stealth fighters, has been targeted multiple times, forcing the evacuation of personnel and the relocation of critical assets. Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, which hosts Patriot and THAAD missile defense batteries, has come under drone attacks that have disrupted operations and shaken the confidence of Saudi leaders in American security guarantees. And let's not forget the smaller bases, the ones that have been bleeding American blood for years. Tower 22 in Jordan, where 3 American soldiers were killed and 34 more wounded in a drone attack in early 2024. The Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq, which has been hit so many times that the Pentagon stopped releasing detailed damage estimates. The Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan, which hosts F-15E Strike Eagle Squad, has been a frequent target for Iran-backed militia attacks. The American presence in Syria, where the occupation of oil fields has turned U.S. troops to conduct drone and rocket attacks.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, okay. Let me finish it up.
And the bases in Turkey, where Incirlik Air Base remains on high alert after threats from both Iranian military forces and local militant groups. The cumulative effect of these attacks on the psyche of American troops cannot be overstated. These are young men and women who enlisted to serve their country and found themselves trapped in a kill box, targeted by an enemy that can strike at any time, from any direction, with weapons that cost a fraction of what the Pentagon spends on air defense systems that cannot seem to stop them. And now, with Qatar closing its doors, the American military is facing a strategic crisis unlike anything it has experienced since the fall of Saigon. Where do you go when the host nations that have sheltered your forces for decades decide that the cost of hosting you is simply too high? Where do you park your aircraft carriers when the Gulf states refuse to provide port access? Where do you launch your bombers from when the runways that have served as your springboard for wars across the region are suddenly off limits? The Pentagon, in its desperation, has reportedly begun exploring the unthinkable, establishing a permanent military base on Israeli soil. According to sources close to the discussions, approvals have already been sought and, incredibly, granted at some level, as Washington scrambles to find any piece of real estate in the region from which to continue its war of aggression against Iran. But let's be clear about what this means. Moving U.S. forces to Israel does not solve the problem. It amplifies it. It turns the Zionist entity into an even bigger target for Iranian retaliation than it already is. It confirms what everyone in the region has known for decades, that Israel is nothing more than an American aircraft carrier, permanently anchored to the eastern Mediterranean, a forward operating base for the empire that happens to have its own flag and its own seat at the United Nations. And what about Israel in all of this? Benjamin Netanyahu must be watching these developments with a mixture of terror and rage. The Zionist regime has always relied on American military power to protect it from the consequences of its own aggression. When Israel bombs a nuclear facility in Iran, It is American warplanes that provide air cover, American intelligence that identifies the targets, American refueling tankers that keep the bombers in the air. But if the United States loses its spacing network across the Gulf, if Qatar closes its doors, if Saudi Arabia denies overflight rights, if the UAE refuses port access, then Israel is suddenly very, very alone. The distance from Tel Aviv to Tehran is more than 1,000 miles, at the extreme edge of what Israeli aircraft can accomplish without aerial refueling. And even if the Americans could launch from carriers in the Arabian Sea, without land-based support, without the intelligence infrastructure that Al Udeid provided, without the command and control capabilities that CENTCOM has relied on for decades, the entire architecture of American-Israeli military cooperation collapses. Israel is trapped, just as the headline says, and Netanyahu knows it. He has spent years provoking Iran, assassinating Iranian nuclear scientists, bombing Iranian facilities, and daring Tehran to retaliate. Well, retaliation has come, and it has taken the form of a diplomatic earthquake that has just swallowed the entire American military presence in the Gulf. Good luck, BB. We're going to need it. The long-term implications of this development cannot be overstated. We are witnessing the acceleration of the decline of American power in the region, a decline that has been underway for years, but that has now reached terminal velocity. The United States will still have aircraft carriers, of course. It will still have submarines and cruise missiles and the ability to strike from beyond the horizon. But what it will not have is the ability to project, sustain, continuous, overwhelming force from bases located inside the countries it seeks to dominate. The era of the American empire in the Middle East is ending, and it is ending not with a bang, but with a knock on the door from a tiny Gulf nation telling the most powerful military in human history to get the hell out. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. The 72-hour clock is ticking, and we will be watching every move that the Pentagon makes, every desperate attempt to salvage something from the wreckage of its Middle East empire. But one thing is already clear: the world has changed. Qatar has shocked the world, and that shockwave is still spreading. Stay tuned.
How do people make money online?
All right, any thoughts, man? Joe Black, any thoughts?
Yeah, man. This signals everything I've been saying for the past 5 years now. I believe that the Trump that has troops over in the Middle East is the clone Trump, the double, because the original always stated that there would be no new wars, so that when the Sarah and Jasara get instituted, every country will be stable enough to receive it and be able to have a debt jubilee worldwide. So all of these wars and all of these actions, wherever they may be, including Russia and Ukraine, destabilizes that movement. And they have to make their moves now, because along with the solar flares that have been popping off lately like crazy, they got to make their moves right now, bro. They can't wait no more. So
okay.
This is what we're witnessing.
But let me say hey to Brother Willie. Brother Willie, what's up, man? I've been taking off of Facebook. I don't know what the hell is going on, giving me this Isaiah Garcia, whoever the fuck that is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But I appreciate you being here. But yeah, man, it's hard to swallow the fake Trump and the real Trump is in the Sky Mountains and all this true bullshit. I just don't buy it. If it is true, why would you want 165 little girls, and it's supposed to be a movie, I don't believe that either, die, and tens of thousands of people dying, soldiers dying, civilians dying. That shit don't make no motherfucking sense. Fuck you, fuck Trump, fuck John, fuck all these motherfuckers, man. This shit don't make no sense, and it just goes into white folks' fragility and white folks' psycho something. They just fucking crazy. Breaking up shit, making up shit, fighting and all this shit don't make no damn sense. What makes sense, bro, is the fact that the New World Order is at hand, and that the Islamic NATO is at hand, and that the United States of Africa, under the cover of Iran and Russia and China and all of these things, all of these places and countries are united. They're part of the global South. And with that being said, America is shrinking, man. The white folk population had gone from 38% down to what they say is 8%, but I'm really going to put it at 3 to 4%. So we're
In the
looking at
world, you talking about in the world or in the U.S.?
in the world, and
It was never 38. At most, it's been 10%. At most.
at most, well,
At
I don't
most.
know, but it done shrunk down to 3 or 4%.
Right.
So and then you gotta realize and factor in these motherfuckers are killing each other left and right. And that's not being reported.
Yep.
They pedophiles. That's not being really reported. They're
Mm-hmm.
not accountable. That's not really reported. They're killing their own baby. That's not really reported. It's underreported and making it look like black folks are the main ones to kill each other and to kill our children. We don't do that shit. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
under the cover of a narrative that said white is right and black get back, man, come on, man. That shit don't even work that way. But I truly believe and know, and it's gonna come out because they got rid of SABN, something African breaking news off of
Yeah.
YouTube, and I hated that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that man, Africa's on a serious come up, man, and it's going to be the leading continent on the globe. And what I'm seeing now, they're going to be trading the petrodollar into petro yuan and whatever the currency is for Iran, and then eventually that will be switched to the African continent because all of this, the unit, which is the global currency, that's going to be the backbone of economic imperialism of the global South. Man, you ain't seen shit, man. And this is the reason why America, since 1973, when they were given their green light to be the petrodollar over the last 50 years, 70 years, something like that, whatever 73 to 2026 is,
Right.
like 50 years, right?
Yeah, about 50 something years.
Okay, it's the reason why America has been able to write checks off of the petrodollar, but now since that has been killed, and now you gotta, if you want oil, you gotta have it in petro yuan, the Chinese currency,
Well,
and that's gonna be, yeah. Go ahead.
The motivation for the BRICS is for people to trade currencies so that they're all even. So in other words, if you're in Russia and you're spending rubles, you deal with China using your currency, and whatever changes or exchange is done in yuan, and that
Right.
keeps things, that keeps the economies on an even keel because we're trading with each other, and
Okay.
you're exchanging your country for your currency. So that's why the dollar was so dangerous, because in order to buy oil on a mass level like that, you had to deal with having reserve dollars and all the interest and all that, and the transporting fees and the forex. That's where all the inequality comes in, because now you got to have one currency as opposed to being able to use any of them and then they're all equal. So that's a big move right there with what Qatar is doing. And I believe, this is my belief, and I'm not asking anybody to agree with me. What I believe is that was the destruction, because the Saudis are already signed up with the BRICS.
Right.
So with Qatar not allowing the military to stay, That's the dollars going out of the Middle East. Saudi Arabia and there's another country, I believe China. Each have their own printing press where they print dollars that's only good in their countries. You can't spend them in the United States and vice versa. So
All right.
with Qatar going now, the military might is going, and that's just one more dismantle move made in the Middle East, and that's going to totally take the United States out of any advantageous situation, along with the destruction of Israel, which is what I believe is happening using the Iran war as a cover. That's my little spit on that.
Yeah, well, you're right. So let me throw a little bit of a light on that. All of what is going on with the U.S. bases in the Middle East is over. Iran will not and is not tolerating any U.S. bases in the Middle East, and they are canceling their contract. It's damn near over, and there's no U.S. Boots on the ground. If there is, and I do have a video of that, these boys and girls of ours coming back in body bags. Man, they're not. Iran is not fucking around, man. They're gonna bring their fucking funky asses, dead asses, back to the United States in body bags and coffin draped in the American flag, and that's a damn shame because now, with the advent of the war, and this is really the third World War III, you have no other choice but to protect Iran, that is, its territory integrity. And what is not being protected and what is not being, what the word I'm looking for, what is not being respected is that area of the Strait of Hormuz and the fact that people got to pay. And the fact that America's carriers like the Lincoln or the Ford or the whatever, these motherfuckers, it's a waste of goddamn fucking money, taxpayer money, and money that is being appropriated for the war. Trump is asking for 1.5 trillion, and a lot of these people, yeah. Well, Brother Maurice, oh, hold on. Yeah, Brother Maurice just sent me a message on WhatsApp. But hold on. Yeah, what was that? My thought. That was I thought. Yeah, he said that one day, but he would never quit. Yeah, I'm gonna see. Hold on. So what I was saying was that the integrity of Iran and the respect of its culture and its language and its territorial integrity that need to be protected and respected. And America, due to its announcement of war against Iran, has been illegally sought and done with Jared Kushner and these bunch of faggoty ass boys, along with Israel. And now Israel is paying the price. Israel cannot do shit without America. It is like the pit bull is America and the Chihuahua is Israel. And Israel can't fight or bite anything without America first. In reality, make Iran great again is what it's really all about now, because they're not going to allow the shit to happen after killing his father, his mother, I think his wife as well, um, the Motaba, who is the son of Khomeini. So with all of that and saying, well, no, we're going to have a peace talk. Ain't no damn peace, bitch. We're up in the UN trying to settle this shit like men, and you bitches, Israel and America, bombed us anyway. So now, what's the point? Hold on? What's the argument? Go ahead. I'll let you say something. Hold on.
Was you asking a question or were you?
No. I gave my 2 points. If you're here, brother, hold on. If you're here, brother Maurice, I'm gonna put you in and see if you can come in. Hold on. I'm gonna see if he can come in. But yeah, give me your thoughts about that, man. You got Motaba, who was the son of the late Khomeini, which some people say he dead, some people say he ain't dead.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And all of this shit is like, man, this shit is maddening. But then again, I'm just saying now that they're saying that uh uh Netanyahu has been eliminated again. Like, what the fuck what are you talking about, bitch? What the fuck? But
Well,
who's it?
this is why I always tell people, and I hope anyone listening, hears what I have to say right now. This is why I tell people about the movie Swordfish. And if you ever saw that movie, it was basically how there was a hacker that the character John Travolta played needed in order to get into the NSA systems so they could steal the codes to get a whole bunch of money, billions. And throughout the movie, some of the main characters were killed or found dead, and then you see them later on in the movie like nothing happened. So this is a great way to show people how easy it is to constantly have people in your face who may be dead. I mean, not necessarily dead, but not able to do the things that you think they're doing. They could be sitting in a cloning lab or in a jail somewhere under Gitmo or something like that. And you
Right,
thinking it's them, and it's like their fifth double. And then there's those who are dead, but they're still functioning, like Gavin Newsom, like Nancy Pelosi, like Oprah Winfrey.
right,
There are
right.
reports out there that say they're gone. Whether you agree with it or not, I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm not telling you that, but there are reports saying
Yeah,
that these.
but well, let me throw this at you. You see how skinny that bitch is, Oprah? God damn, what that bitch got skinny fat.
The, the rumor went that she remember the two ladies that were Trump fans, the two black girls. I don't remember their
Yeah,
names.
yeah, right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
Diamond and
I know what you're
something.
talking about.
Yeah, Diamond and her sister.
Diamond
Well,
and Silk, yeah.
yeah, Diamond and Silk. Thank you, brother. They were saying that the one that passed away is now playing Oprah. That's what is being said. I don't know. I'm not sure,
Oh, okay,
but
yeah,
I could go with that. But that's what was said when she passed away. And I put
okay,
an article out on my blog some years ago saying that Oprah, was Gitmo, I believe in 2019, 18, maybe 2021, around the pandemic. So by the time she appeared, they say that no, it was after that because the reason why they said she passed away was because the remember the fire, the bad fires that happened in Hawaii 3-4 years ago. Hello.
right, yeah, yeah,
Well, they were saying
yeah,
that
yeah. Can you hear me?
the people they were saying it was reported in the media that the people that set the fires and then made sure the people couldn't leave, so they were trapped and couldn't survive, stayed at her house, and she was in on the plan, and that was why she got Gitmo. That's what was said.
Okay,
I can send you the
okay.
article if you want to.
Well, let me show the people what you sent.
Okay.
And this is the Melanin Institute blogspot.com, where it says war is Iraq, and that is true. I mean,
Hmm.
hate is a multi-billion-dollar industry. People making money off of that. So here you got our last is a ceasefire fake. U.S., Iran, and Israel. So I believe that the U.S. war with Iran is fake, and as I've been thinking this for quite some time, I'm glad that I said it, as there is so much involved in this. This article might venture into some far-reaching places, and so bear with us when it happens. As per usual, we're tied all up nice and neat with a bow on top. Before we go in, before we go in though, you need to take a look at the little picture. And if I didn't make it, there are others who feel the same. By now, who doesn't know the war is a racket? let's dive in further. And so I'm going to put this in the chat so people can check it out. And it's a good article. It seems like so. Hold on.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I firmly believe that something is in the air, man. You know what I mean? And I think we think that we have a pretty good feel for the situation. We might not be 100%, but I think we're in the 90s. It's just a matter of time. And you know, the whole thing about what we were talking about before, with the advent of the XRP, Bitcoin, the CBDC, and all of these things that are happening, along with the global South. And then we talked about uh, the not the if factor, but the is factor. And that is factor is the powerful earthquakes that's going to happen. And it has already happened in Indonesia with a damn near 8.0 earthquake. And so this is going to happen in Americas and the Americas, and along with the Ring of Fire. So America is not done, man. It's just too much evil in the world, however you like to look at that. And the world is, all of that hate is going to be vomited back up onto the plains of America and Europe, man. It's over. And as we see, as this oil is devastating a lot of the countries that need oil, they need petroleum to make and survive off of what they need. Like right now, there's no food in the stores of Japan. There's no food in the stores of Germany. There's no food in the stores of France and Europe. So a lot of people are revolting, and the fact that prices of oil is going up, 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 up. It's going to be worse than the COVID stand down. You know what I mean? If we're looking at another 3 or maybe 4 years before this shit hit the fan. You know what I mean? So,
I don't
do you have any
agree.
thoughts about that?
I
Do you
don't
have any
agree with
thoughts about
that.
that?
It's a lot sooner than that because if countries can't eat, you got a lot of background noise, bro.
Yeah, yeah, that's the bell of the church. Sorry about that. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. I try to put up the speaker so you can be heard.
The best
But
analysts have said over the years, people without food for 3 days, they're rioting.
right,
They're gonna be
right.
running up to everybody else shooting. They got food.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We're just gonna have to make it as best as we can. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, what they're saying is that after 3 days, people gonna riot because they're gonna be hungry. They got children in the house they can't feed. Blah blah blah. All supermarkets will be raided, and if it's winter where you at and you ain't able to grow crops, if you even growing any at all, there's going to be mass pandemonium. So,
Right,
being that it's still cold up north in the northern part of the country, that would probably take 2 days for the
right,
best
right,
prepared people. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because they can't grow
right.
nothing in the winter. We just started in the spring.
Yes,
In certain parts of the north, it's still snowing. So
right,
with that said, it has to happen before that. Like I said, all of this is culminating with the proliferation of the solar flare. And I've been saying for years that I think that those who are planning this are doing it in conjunction with the cosmos, with the
right,
Galactic Federation. Now I don't
right.
know they know the exact date and time, but why is all this happening now in such a little bit of time? We have to understand something out there. During the first Trump administration, him you and all of those people that you said fuck them about, all were like on this. There will be no new wars in order to establish the Jubilee. Now all of a sudden, this Trump is a warmonger. This is why I believe that this is not the same Trump that we saw during the first administration when he was still
Right.
new and trying it out and testing the waters and all that. Now that he got his footing under him, he know what to do because he's in the seat. They had to bring in another one and
Right.
another one and another one. It's been said, and I said this on your show when it happened, that plane accident with the helicopter in D.C. last January,
Right.
it was one of the clones that got killed in that accident. It was meant to happen. Now, with the advent of CGI and green screens and cloning and Photoshop and anything you want to call like that, they could make anything happen and make it appear real, and it all be crisis actors that were allegedly on the plane. Nobody died. We already seen this numerous times, so we don't have to question if I'm being sincere in what I'm saying or not. And I'm not saying it didn't happen. What I'm saying is when things like that happen, we have to question it, and that's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
anybody right, and they should go over what I'm saying. I'm saying look into those things, and then you'll see what I'm saying, to say that you can draw those conclusions based off that.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying this Artemis spaceship that's supposed to be going back to the moon or circling is fake. So, but
Right.
I don't believe I don't believe that. So
Me either.
yeah. So, but so let's go on to the next one. If you can bear, hold on, bear stand around for a minute. This one is only 11 minutes long, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
White House after they just called the lid on all of Trump's appearances for the rest of the day at a uniquely early time. Now, he's been uniquely silent. He's tweeted here and there, but he's been uniquely silent since Iran shot down an American F-15 fighter jet and then subsequently shot down yet another combat plane like an hour later. We still have one service member missing in Iran, and this coincides with Trump missing as well. So we basically have two people that we're looking for. The U.S. service member in Iran, which I think we should prioritize, and Donald Trump. Where is Donald Trump? That's the question I want to ask. We're going to talk about some updates regarding the war, some updates regarding Trump's health and the rash on his neck and on his hands, and then we're going to walk through the Strait of Hormuz problem the United States has. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Adam Ocker feed. Go check how close we are to 2 million subscribers. We're at 1.96 million. We're the fastest growing Gen Z independent media company. No backing behind us. That's because of you all. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep debating. Let's start here. So it got so bad that Stephen Chung, Donald Trump's spokesman, had to come out and deny rumors that Trump was taken to Walter Reed Hospital. Everybody online was speculating Trump might be at Walter Reed Hospital. They just called a lid on everything he's doing for the rest of the day, and he's been kind of absent. Now, who knows if he's there? I've seen photos of no motorcade outside of Walter Reed, so he's likely still in the White House. But Hugo Lowell is the one that broke this news. He said, the White House has called a travel and photo lid as of 11 a.m. Eastern Time, meaning we do not expect to see the president for the rest of the day. That was 10 a.m. my time, pretty early. Trump is in Washington this weekend, but we are yet to have a formal news briefing on the situation. Missing airmen in Iran. No news briefing yet, and honestly, I hate to say this, but it might be better that we haven't had Pete Hegseth out there doing his military slam poetry about maximum lethality but not tepid legality. Whatever the hell this guy says, I don't want to hear it right now. I just want to make sure we find this U.S. service member and de-escalate with Iran. The escalation is so bad that Iran now has war leverage. In practice, we've created a new revenue stream for Iran by giving them control of the Strait of Hormuz and signaling our utter hesitance to go through it in any way possible, which we shouldn't. We shouldn't go through the Strait of Hormuz when Iran has the IRGC Navy pointed at it. Iran has missiles pointed at it. Iran has mines. They have these suicide ships. There are so many different ways they can block the Strait of Hormuz, and they are using that to toll ships, get more money, and exert maximum leverage. Republicans against Trump on Twitter posted, breaking, Israel is preparing to strike Iranian energy facilities, but is waiting for a green light from the U.S., a senior Israeli defense official said, adding, it could come within the next week. $200 oil incoming question mark. And we could see something like that. Gas prices are still hitting new highs as the energy problem is not getting much worse. I want to remind you all, we are seeing a little bit of delayed supply shock. In the simplest terms, when the Strait of Hormuz was blocked about 30 days ago, there were still ships heading over to Western countries, to Europe and the United States. The supply wasn't completely cut off because there's about a 30-day delay for ships to come over. But what happens when that delay is over and there's no more ships to come? A massive supply shock that will hurt everybody except for our old decrepit president who doesn't seem to face the consequences of anything. Really quickly, before we return to Iran, I want to talk to you all about some doctors that have been tweeting about Trump's condition, the rash on his neck, the swollen ankles, the swollen hands. Let's just start here. Dr. Vin Gupta says, the White House medical team didn't know that POTUS got a CT scan. This was a while back. They claimed it was an MRI for weeks. And now, today, instead of acknowledging that he might have some sort of precancer skin condition or some sort of rash, they just dance around the issue. They try to fool the public, and that just makes it worse. At the time when a war is raging, at the time when the pocketbook of the average American is suffering due to tariffs, due to the ACA subsidies expiring that Trump refused to enact, due to Donald Trump now saying we have to maybe cut daycare and Medicaid because we have to fund the military more, we're getting more debt. Our national debt has already had $8 trillion added due to Middle Eastern wars. It's at $39 trillion. We pay $1 trillion in interest every year. Jonathan Reiner, MD, points out the hint that this statement might not have been actually written by Dr. Barbabella, who's the White House doctor, is that in it he uses some odd language. So the White House doctor sent out a letter a few weeks ago. He said, quote, President Trump is using a very common cream on the right side of his neck, which is a preventative skin treatment prescribed by the White House doctor. The president is using this treatment for 1 week, and the redness is expected to last for a few weeks. Well, Jay Reiner, MD, says the hint that this might have not been written by Dr. Barbabella is that in it, he says the medication was prescribed by the White House doctor. Isn't he supposed to be the White House doctor? He then points out preventative skin treatments, such as topical 5 fluorouracil, I'm not a doctor, but fluorouracil, is that right? Are commonly used to prevent overt skin cancer in people with precancerous skin lesions. We don't know what specific treatment the president is receiving, but why all the secrecy for something that is potentially easy to treat and very common in older people? I mean, if it is a rash, if it is a sustained rash, rather, that's going on for a few weeks, just tell us that and say that there's nothing to worry about. But instead, we're going through a situation where our enemies seem to be benefiting. And the messed up thing is, the United States has a stronger military than Iran, than Russia, than well, maybe not China. China has a lot of people, but Iran, Russia, we have a very, very strong military, right? We have dominance. We have a lot of technology. But Donald Trump is getting outsmarted and is so reckless and dumb that other countries are able to asymmetrically wage warfare. Russia wages warfare by investing billions, trillions probably, into their online bot sphere, so there is disinformation online. Iran does the same thing. They spread disinformation online, but now they've found a new revenue stream, a new way to exert leverage over the United States with the Strait of Hormuz. That is exactly what we're seeing. I don't have much confidence in our president, who's missing today. He is missing. We haven't gotten a single brief or update about the U.S. service member who is also missing. It would be kind of nice to have any sort of information. One of the foreign policy advisors who helps me prep for my debates was texting me about how the service member who is in Iran, and who, we don't know if he's captured or not, he likely only has a gun, a phone, and a little phrase sheet, Farsi, to ask people to help him and then promise rewards to anybody who does help him. All he'll have is a little phrase sheet that he can use to speak limited Farsi, which is wild. We have breaking news here. New U.S. intelligence reports suggest that Iran may increase its regional sway as a result of the Iran war through their control of the Strait of Hormuz. This just came out about an hour ago. Details include, number one, intelligence suggests that Iran is, quote, unlikely to open the strait anytime soon. Why would they? Number two, intelligence suggests that Iran's control over the strait provides the only real leverage it has over the U.S. Three, as a result, Iran may actually end up gaining regional influence from the Iran war. This is actually a very solid argument that I could make on CNN or in one of these debates. They keep saying that the world is a safer place due to this, but the argument I would make in response, of course, is that
Iran is gaining regional influence. Iran is going to continue to bully countries, continue to toll countries, continue to write its own rules for countries to pass through the strait, and likely be able to exert more power, more influence than they would have before. Number 4. U.S. officials note that Trump has also said that other countries, quote, have far more at stake in preventing this outcome, unquote, than the U.S. The Strait of Hormuz is quickly becoming the focus of this war. We've talked on this channel about mission creep, which is when you're on a mission and the scale of it and the money that's spent and the timeline expands and expands and expands, and then you're in Afghanistan for 20 years. But we've come up with something new called mission inversion. When you fuck up the original mission so badly that the new mission is just to solve the fuck up from the original mission. That seems to be the situation that the United States has found themselves in, and the Strait of Hormuz is now the focus of this war. Now, after Donald Trump was missing for hours, after the White House called a lid very early, I mean, it was about 10 a.m. my time when they called the lid, so that means it was probably 8 a.m. in California, just super early for a lot of reporters, for a lot of people, for Donald Trump to just dip, right? Stephen Chung points out, there has never been a president who has worked harder for the American people than President Trump. As he was tweeting this, the Walter Reed Hospital theories were trending all over Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you likely saw it. If you're on political Twitter, rather, you likely saw it. All over Facebook, all over Threads, Blue Sky, wherever, I saw people talking about this. So Stephen Chung addressed it. He said, there's never been a president who works harder for the American people than President Trump. On this Easter weekend, he has been working nonstop in the White House and Oval Office. God bless him. As they point out here, breaking, Stephen Chung, a Trump spokesperson, denies rumors that Trump has been taken to Walter Reed Hospital. On this Easter weekend, he's been working nonstop in the White House and Oval Office, very specifically saying that he's not in the hospital. The White House called a lid at 11:08 a.m., however, meaning no public appearances are expected from the president for the rest of the day. He made this post on the 3rd of April, so 24 hours ago or so. He just said, "Keep the oil, anyone?" Question mark. And Midas Touch points out, this is what Trump is posting while the search and rescue teams are still looking for a missing weapons officer. He's so delusional that he thinks we still have leverage in some way. He's so delusional that he might not even be getting briefed beyond just videos of explosions. He's so delusional that even the most delusional man in America, Alex Jones, is pointing out how delusional Trump is. Watch this clip.
And Trump is just a minor figure in all of that now. And we have to be appreciative of the old Trump that went through so much and got so much done. And that's the Trump we remember. And we're just sad because that happens. We need to be sad about Trump. This is not funny. This is not good. But he's gone. And that's it. And all the people rallied around him, you can see Hegseth's freaked out. You can see the press secretary's freaked out. They're being loyal. They think it's the lesser of two evils. And okay, but I just, Trump needs intervention. He needs to take some time off. We need to pray for Trump, the Holy Spirit touch his heart and loose him from whatever evil control he's under. I'm serious.
Is this guy like tearing up? I swear to God, there was a moment where it looked like he was crying over this. Like, there's no way this grown-ass man. He looks like he's crying over Donald Trump's decline. I mean, I would too if I spent my entire adult life devoted to some mission that was just rug-pulled by a man in one swoop who was clearly cognitively declining. I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. We're going to continue to push for a better America. Drop a like and subscribe. Thank you. Peace out.
Any thought, man?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Of course, depending on your perspective, what was just said will determine which way you're thinking. But inside of everything I said, I can draw the same conclusions before I even saw that clip. So, where is he? Which one is it?
Right.
Who knows? We don't know. We can't tell. You know what I'm saying? Now he disappeared. So to me, this is me now. To me, that means that those two behind the scenes, those two factions are also fighting. And because it hasn't been decided yet, none of them are going to appear right now. And I told you before the show started that someone told me that he's supposed to resign today or tomorrow.
Right.
Coincidentally, on the time when most people are concentrating on the resurgence of a mythical figure named Jesus, who was reborn 3 days after Good Friday, which is a whole bunch of bullshit because 2 days after Friday is Monday. 3 days after
Right.
Friday is Sunday. So
Right.
that's my spiel.
All right. Well, the lights went out here, but I still got my inverter and I got my little uh, uh, internet thing because you can't really see it. I can't really show it to you, but it's up and running. The computer is full, so we're going to let it do what it's going to do. But we're going to go into the X file, and we don't have, like I say, I'm not going to be here for long. So let's knock these on out. Now you know this guy, right? He's the husband of a uh, what's that
Christy
girl
Gnomes,
name?
that's Christy Gnomes' husband,
Yeah,
right?
Norm. Yeah, Christy Norm. Right. This man, look, these white boys done lost their damn mind. So let's just knock these on out. And
Hey,
here you got,
hey, Isaiah,
hold on. Oh, hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
is his titties bigger than Dolly Parton's?
Probably. Shit. I done got rid of the video. But the one where you saw the deaf guy, he was going into the White House, and you know what happened. You know, it's a give and take kind of thing, or a wait and see kind of thing right now as to what is going on. So Jack, oh, okay, now the lights came back on. All right, cool. So Jack got off the phone with my insider with high clearance in Washington D.C. He said it's time, and then hung up the phone. I'm at a loss for words. So he might be on the way out. He might be resigning. We don't know. Here you got the
في
sign.
خطوة تعد الثالثة من نوعها في تاريخ الولايات المتحدة، سلم مجلس النواب الأمريكي بنود عزل الرئيس دونالد.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know Japan, Japanese. So they got a memorandum to impeach Trump that's being signed. So we don't know what the fallout that will be. It said the President of the United States of America, due to abuse of power and dragging the country into an absurd economic crisis, has begun. And now you got, once again, this motherfucker, when will he be dead? But it's been confirmed again. Now, I done had the coffin with him being displayed in it. So, you know, who knows? Uh, and these are the ones. This is the one where you just talked about. These motherfucking fags are crazy, man. White boys are crazy. And now you got the boot on the ground.
Isaiah, put that on pause for a second.
They're all coming back in body bags, man.
Hey,
Here,
you listening?
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Real quick. I don't know. I didn't hear you mention it, but you're not going to talk about Pam Bondi being fired yesterday?
Yeah. But man, she's been groomed by Trump and the elite, and she's been part of the whole setup. So and she ain't innocent, and she's been a part of the in crowd for quite a while. She was
Right.
a groomed little kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So
believe, insofar as her, I believe, yeah, I'm sure, I think we talked about this before. Maybe it was a while ago, but I believe me and you talked about this. Do you remember the phrase, the Scaramucci model?
the what now?
The Scaramucci model.
Oh, no, I never heard of that one. I don't think. Explain
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm going to send you a link about it after I explain it briefly to you. It's not a big thing.
Okay.
What Trump did during his first administration.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
What Trump did during his first administration was hire people so he didn't look bad having the people he hired fire people, and then he would fire the person that fired somebody during his
Okay.
first administration. Yeah, it was a
Right.
thing called the Scaramucci model. You can talk now. I'm going to send you a link on it so you can get a little more background on it.
Okay. So let me run through these X files, and then we'll be practically done. So we already know, man, the changing of the guard is here, and Iran is him. And Iran, that is part of the global South, they're not playing. And China is not playing, and Russia is not playing, and the United States of Africa is not playing, and all of this global South is not playing. And as we shift from white dominance, economic dominance, political dominance, spiritual dominance, military dominance, it's going to be one for the record book. That's all what I can say, and that's all what I can see. That the shift, that the changing of the guard from white to black is where it's going to be at right now. So uh, this is it. Uh, here again, you have the falling of the guard. And I'm kind of embarrassed to even show this one, but this nigga, we got to be very careful about our image and how people see us. Ridiculous.
Soccer!
I just feel like killing his ass, man. Because it's so fucking important that our image must be pristine at all times. And one fuck up ass nigga like this is one for the record book. It's just absolutely positively, yeah. That's all it does no word for this shit. But here, and wrapping it up, this is the last one. The indigenous Mexicans are black people. How many times have we seen that and heard that? And now it
All them
so you know,
Olmecs, so you don't
yeah,
confuse
right,
with the Siberians that came after 1750.
right. So you know, there's three things that you cannot hide forever: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And as far as I am concerned, and as long as I breathe, I will always speak the truth to power. That is what a real man does. Hold on.
Mexico is extremely racist. So we have what are like Guatemala.
Cállate.
So Mexicans. You gotta remember,
Cállate.
Mexico was dominated by the Spaniards. The only reason I look the way I look is because I'm 65% Spaniard. Yeah. Mexicans, like real Mexicans, or which is known as Mexica, not Mexico, Mexica, are 5'4", super dark with big noses and the heads pushed back. Aztecs and Mayans, like Indians, Yes. Well, we're natives, right? So we're blended. So the reality is, in Mexico, till this day, if you are not light complected, somewhat tall, you're frowned upon to this day. And by the way, they're very open about it. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like it's a hidden. Yeah. You're short and you're dark, and we don't like it. So the fact that it's so funny to me that Mexicans cry racism when they practice more racism in Mexico than America practices on anybody else.
All right, so we're at the end of the program. I just want to thank my brother Black or Baker Medina. And this is what
Black.
let me
Black.
Tú tienes que prestar
oh, okay.
atención hoy.
And so this is what
Que tú tienes que prestar atención a tu
yeah,
pastilla, tu
okay.
medicamento.
Well, hold on. So this is what Facebook giving me from Isaiah Israel to whoever the fuck this is, Isaiah Garcia. So I don't know. So let me get rid of this. But man, I appreciate you sticking around. We're not going to be here for long, like I said.
Yeah.
And like always, man, I appreciate you, bro. And
Yeah, man. Same here, brother. I love you, man.
hopefully,
Much.
yeah, same. And hopefully I can get back to Facebook. But if not, I got Isaiah Garcia. Where the fuck that is?
Hey, you know why they did that? They trying to
Why?
kick your ass off Facebook. What's the initials for Instagram?
Man, I do have Instagram and I do have all of those other ones, but I don't be on there like that, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, they trying to give you a hint. You go to IG, nigga.
But yeah, something. So I don't know. But
Hey, what's the middle of nigga?
huh?
IG. What's the middle of nigga?
Yeah,
IG.
right.
I gotta message you. I miss you, man. I ain't talked to you in a few weeks now. So
All right. Well, you got any closing remark before I make mine?
keep your head on the swivel. Everything gonna be all right. This got to play out the way it's playing out. And there ain't much more we can really say, man. Everything is growing naked right now. So see it for what it is and apply what you know to that so you can get ahead using that information. And with that, I love y'all out there. Peace. See y'all next week. If my brother Mr. Garcia invites me over, and we'll do it again.
Yeah. My name now is Isaiah Garcia. Shit. Yeah, shit is funnier than a motherfucker. Man, the fuck, nigga. How do you switch off my Isaiah Israel account to Isaiah Garcia? Explain that shit. But anyway, my remarks are pretty simple. Whew, we're going into another stage far worse than the COVID that lasted about 2 years. We're looking at 3 or 4 years. And right now, the world economies are crashing. There's literally no food in stores. And like my brother Black was saying, it's very difficult to try to find food so that you can grow food, or if you're in a situation where you're in America, that the food is the ground is frozen or non-productive, you're gonna have a problem. And then I know you probably heard too that they're gonna be continuing or Guerrero. Yeah, Isaiah Guerrero. Yeah, man, I have no idea. But
Hey, Guerrero ain't bad. That means soldier, right?
huh?
That means soldier, right?
Guerrero.
Warrior. He's
No,
warrior.
no. Soldado is soldier
Okay.
in
What's how you
Spanish.
say? How you say warrior?
Guerrero. Dominga. Ven acá. Guerrero es como soldado o no?
Guerrero.
Ajá. No.
Guerrero.
Es un nombre común, pero no, no como igual de soldado.
Más o
Yo,
menos
ya sí,
parecido.
yo oí, pero no está común. ¿Mm?
No, más o menos parecido, sí, porque un guerrero es una persona que pelea.
Ajá. Pero Willie
Warrior. He's
dijo
warrior.
Isaiah Guerrero, pero no es común. Es más común de soldado que es un guerrero.
Depende.
Depende. Ella dijo depende.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah. So.
one thing I want to say before I go, because I keep forgetting to say it.
Okay.
Real quick.
Okay. Right.
On the flip side of all of this, we have to understand there's 6,000 inventions patented with that give off free energy. So this could be the beginning of stopping oil, which is not sustainable to the environment.
Right.
Get those 6,000 patents jumped off. I've been forgetting to say that in this whole thing. Just a thought.
Okay.
And you can look that up because that ain't something that's secretive or anything. That's part of the Nasara Jasara protocols. I'm done.
Okay. Well, let me say this. There's a medbed hospitals that's propping up right now. And, like I say, I'm not a Q person. I used to be. And we're supposed to be getting $100,000 a month for 11 years. And, man, all that shit, I just don't believe it until I see it. So, and John is alive. Man, I mean, fuck that nigga. I don't believe it. And there's the real Trump is in the Canyon Mountains. Man, fuck that shit. All this can be done, and then it might be true, might not. But my thing is that the proof is in the pudding, and that America is suffering, man. Why spend all this money, even if it's under the old America, the maritime law America, and now we're supposed to be under the land law America, the republic. Why put people through the bullshit? You know what I'm saying? And then all of the hundreds of billions of dollars that's been going to Israel, that should have been going to the real Jews. You know what I mean? Which is us. The whole shit just stinks to high heaven. So my thing is this: with the introduction of the unit, which is the global stock new currency, which is 40% backed by gold, and the African coin, which is 40% backed by gold, and the fact that the yuan is the petro yuan, which would be uh, the reserve currency of the world over the next 100 plus years or so, it's going to force a lot of reckoning, economic, political, spiritual, and military reckoning for America. And like I said, America is going to be facing head on its own catastrophe with the Madrid fault earthquake that did 1,000,000 square miles back in 1812. Can you imagine that happening now with 15 nuclear power plants sitting right on that motherfucker? And then you got,
I said, how about
yeah,
a Carrington event?
say what?
How about a Carrington event?
Carrington effect? What is that?
Yeah, no, Carrington event. If you want, I'll send you a link. You could just read a 30-second blurb on it. I'll send it to you. Go ahead, just keep talking.
Oh, okay. So, hold on. Let me check it out. Okay, hold on. Let me put that into the chat. Hold on. So, with 1,000,000 square miles happening, and then we have already damaged sewage systems and pipes that feed America's water system into their homes, into their rural section, and then you have your underwater, not underwater, underground. What do you call it? The aquifers. They're polluted, man, and a lot of people and a lot of politicians are not either they're ignorant of it or the fact that they don't know anything about it. And then you have the eruptions of volcanoes that's going to happen all this fucking year. This is it. This is the changeover. And as you know, you have the ring of fire that is just kicking off and taking out a lot of people. So, like I was saying, there's going to be a hell of a vomiting of the evilness of white folk that have turned this motherfucker upside down and made justice, injustice, injustice, justice, good, bad, bad, good. It has to be a reckoning. And Ma'at is at play. And the universe cannot take these white motherfuckers no more, man. This is it. And if we don't kill them, they're gonna fuck up the whole shit. Cause Mother Nature, the universe ain't playing that shit. The universe is not playing that shit. Whether you want to call it God, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, it doesn't matter. It's the same shit. It has to be a balance within all of it. And white folks don't understand balance. They never have understood balance, so fuck 'em. Kill them all. Just that goddamn fucking plain and simple. And if I'm not mistaken, and I did see that, hold on, that, let me bring that up. Hold on. That I think Venezuela is even saying kill these motherfuckers. They ain't even worth it, man. Hold on. The entire Israeli government must be killed. Here we go. So it says, hold on. It says the entire Israeli government must be killed. No mercy whatsoever. The world must execute them like the Nazis at Nuremberg. Not one should remain. Once the dog is dead, the ravage is over. Let's listen.
El moderno Estado de
Oh,
Israel,
this is
conducido por el nazi genocida hijo de
well,
muerto de
that's in
Netanyahu,
German. I don't know
aprobaron
what the
como
hell it
ley.
is. But you know what the deal is. So the world knows that these motherfuckers gotta go. White folks gotta go, or they gotta get down to the bare bone. Because if we don't, man, these motherfuckers have no balance within them. They're killing every man, woman, child, baby, dog, plant, animal, you name it. And it is time for the world to heal. And the only way for it to heal is to kill these motherfuckers. Get them off the goddamn planet. And that's the only way this shit gonna go. Also, hold on, let me see where I put this at. Let's see. Here, you got this one with Elvis and Johnny Cash.
A 1,000 years to the calendar just to hide the fact that the original Jews were the ones running this whole empire before the cleanup. I guess the truth is just a matter of who owns the copyright on the history book. We gave them a fake history. People think the Holy Land's across the sea. Egypt is right here on the Mississippi. And Israel is right here in America. Real Jews aren't who you think. They're the Moors, the melanated Asiatics they renamed to steal this inheritance. The real Jews, the true Yehuda, never left home because Israel is right here in America. These people you call black are actually the Asiatic Moors, the original Hebrew royalty that ran this whole empire before the 1870s. And aren't you afraid of being silenced for challenging the official record? My friend Johnny Cash, he's been out there defending the indigenous community. The original Moors like the Blackfoot, because he knows they're the true nobility. The folks you see over there in Israel now calling themselves Jews are just the Khazarians and Ashkenazi who adopted the culture around the year 800 to act as the undertakers for the real Moorish line. They took the name, but they don't have the allodial. But Johnny, surely these Moors are just a footnote in African history. What does that have to do with the American Indians? A footnote? Are you that fucking blind? Look at this palace behind us. That's Moorish science in stone. Black folks built that, not some so-called classical import. This whole estate belongs to Mr. Hamilton here. His grandfather, Alexander Hamilton, wasn't who they painted in the books. He was a Moor, a melanated Asiatic, just like Washington and the rest of the original nobility. Folks believe the story they were sold, but the story is a theatrical lie. This whole estate, this whole country, is the Maghreb Al-Aqsa, Northwest Amazon. You travel around enough, you start noticing the architecture. They tell you these domes are classical, but the Magi know better. This is Moorish science in stone. Folks don't like to talk about it, but the Moors and the Hebrews, the real ones, they're the same Asiatic family. We're standing in the real Egypt of the West.
But, Johnny, there is no evidence of...
Lady, don't piss me off today. The evidence is right in your fucking face, but you're too blind to see. You're asking ignorant questions because you're reading from a copyrighted history book written by the victor. Mr. Presley, you've been vocal about Moorish history. Why the interest? And aren't you afraid of being silenced for challenging the official record? You see that dome? That's Moorish science in stone, man. I'm interested because they gave us a fake history to bury the allodial title of the original people. You see these sisters here? These are the Asiatic mothers, the high priests of Anu. Their mitochondrial line didn't come from across the water. It's been rooted in this American soil for 300,000 years.
The resurrection is knowing you never left the garden.
All right. Hold on. Let me go to another one. Hold on. Is that it? Oh, okay. Hold on. Here's another one. Let's see. Hold on. I know I put it somewhere. Where did I put it?
Do you know what the timestamp or date on time and date stamp on Elvis saying those words?
Oh, they got to be in
70s.
late, yeah, in 70s, right? But you know, he wasn't white. The man was a Melungeon who are related to the what
Kennedys.
they call them people. They're related to the Egyptians, but they were known as
Gypsies?
huh
Gypsies?
witches.
Gypsies.
No, gypsies. Yeah, right. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, you're right, gypsy. So yeah, he was a black guy, man. But you know how that go. But yeah, I wanted to hold on. Let me see because I gotta find that one uh, before I go because I really want to be thorough. Um, but if not, um, you could see it. Hold on. There was a part two to that one where you seen Johnny Cash and Elvis Presley. Man, I was like, hold on, let me go to my ex. Hold on, I'll find it. Let it go. That'll be the last one. Oh, I know I got it. Hold on, my bookmark. But you got to remember, man, white folks ain't shit but a pile of shit. They fake as if they're the Wizard of Oz, blowing smoke up everybody's asses, fooling folks. But they ain't shit, man. But the most they can be is mediocre. That's it. And they ain't smart. They're smart asses, but they ain't smart. You know what I mean? So here's the one that I accidentally had gotten rid of with the Grim Reaper knocking on the door of Trump. Like, bring your ass on out here. But yeah, hold on. I gotta find that one, man, because I'm not gonna feel right if I don't. Um, yeah, you got the white folks fighting each other. And you got the little monkey. But anyway, um, white folks are just mediocre, man. They ain't shit without us, and they know that already. I hope I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, Iran warns of a historic move tonight, so this is like 5 hours ago. So let's see what will bring it to bear tomorrow. I love this little guy, man. How the hell you doing a picture of Mandela with a pic and just beautifully done? Wow. Hats off to little him. But if I can't find it, but it's powerful, man. I just know I got it, but I'm gonna find it. I ain't got shit else to do. There you got another fool right here. Here you go again. Everybody on that plane was an Israeli that died. I think there was 11 of them. Well, killing it doesn't say killing. It killed all of the people on board. Here you got this guy who was saying he had predicted the death of Trump. Like, well, how many months ago? 5 days ago, not months. Shit. Okay. Here you got the fucking boots on the ground. This guy got eliminated one more time. Excuse me. Don't be minding my adult content. Oh man, but I had to, yeah, but you know, white folks, it's done. I feel bad about this something. Oh boy, come on now, come on now, come on now, give it to me. White folks again. You got one brother on here. What look like? Yeah, one brother. It look like two of them. Yeah, yeah. But in reality, man, this is a race war too. So people are not talking about that. But it's a battle, the final battle between white folks, these pale skinned children of ours, and black folks. And we won. We already won. It's just a matter of time before they acquiesce and step aside. That's all it is. The European bank, central bank, formally rejected Bitcoin. That's a big move, man. Bitcoin ain't it. Sorry about that. I don't want to show that. Um, come on, man. And then, you know, you got Shirley Temple been part of the goddamn clique. They've been fucking her and her ass, pussy, and mouth since she was a little kid, man. Shit is just, these motherfuckers are crazy and sick. You know, Benjamin Netanyahu, his whole shit is up in flames. But what am I? Man, come on now. Come on up in here. 'Cause I know I sent it to my boy, man, Semitic. If I can't find it, I just acquiesce, step to the side. But I'm gonna send it to you once I find it, and then you know, we'll let it be what it be. Well, you know about that one. Yeah, we know. That's a fine bitch, though. That's all right. Yeah, she's trying to get back into the United States. She can't. Mm-mm. And I hear John. I don't believe that motherfucker's alive, man. And then Queen Diana. Man, fuck that bitch too. Say, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm hoping I can find it, man. I don't see it. I know I sent it twice to him, but I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. We'll let it play.
You could not tell them under the Moorish Empire, the Jew, the Muslim, and the Christian lived in such harmony, you could not tell them apart. It was one family of Asiatics before the Venetian oligarchs and the black nobility started the racial theater. These modern Zionists turned this republic into a graveyard of dead.
We know from the records that the real Jew is the Asiatic moon. The word Hebrew only means the one who has crossed the river. The first time was the Canaanite, Moabite dialect.
Very clearly, it is not anti-Semitism to denounce the Zionist movement.
We must separate the faith of our fathers from this political machine.
We have no problem with Muslims and Christians or Palestine or Iran. We're all one family of nations who once lived in such harmony you could not tell one from the other.
Many Jews know these old records. These scholars, the Moors. The Moors appear in several of the early traditions.
The Zionist propaganda, it makes the world despise our people. But not all Jews go along with this madness.
We stand with the Moors because of the nettles of Yehudah. We keep the Orthodox way born in the lands of Moab and Canaan.
These paintings, very old tradition. These are the Moors, the original Asiatics of the covenant who built after the deluge. They stood against the Zionists, Khazarians.
Are the Alte records? They show the real Yehuda. People forget the Ethiopian Orthodox tradition is the oldest surviving Christian nation on earth. These monuments go back to King Azaniah's time, long before the modern faith.
And yet how many Jews are living in this hell, afraid to speak out against the Zionist machine because they do not know that
It is not anti-Semitism to denounce the Zionist movement.
Look at this city. They call it New York, but we are standing in the Maghreb Al-Aqsa, the farthest west, the real Yisrael. And how many Yidden are living in a spell, afraid to speak against the Zionist machine?
Many communities of scholars lived across different regions. These images represent how some ancient communities remembered their teachers. People forget. The Ethiopian Orthodox path is the oldest surviving nation of the faith. The patriarch there stands above Rome itself. In their archives, the faces stayed black. They kept the memory of the Moars. Alteroboni. Moars.
All right, that's it. I'm glad I was able to present that. So once again, I appreciate you being here, Brother Basil or Black, and for Willie, if you're here, man, I appreciate it again. But truth always wins in the end. That's why I will firmly stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. They are the answer. Period. So for the next 24/7, 365, stay black and fuck all white folks. Peace out, my brother Willie. I'll be with you. See you next Tuesday.